Hi, this is Parker,
And Muneeza.
and this is our Movies in Our Spare Time number 2, and we're reviewing Parasite. So, what would you give this movie out of 10?
I give Parasite a 10 out of 10 because there's so many cinematic techniques that were used throughout the movie. And even if you don't know much about those techniques that make a film what it is, the plot in itself is just a good
Mm-hmm.
it's good, it's paced correctly,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Um, yeah, I've only seen the movie once, and I wasn't like specifically looking for cinematic techniques, but I loved it. And I think, yeah, I'd also give it a 10 out of 10. And at first, before I saw it, I watched the Oscars, and of course, it won Best Picture, and I was skeptical, I guess. Um, but after watching it, I definitely agree that it deserves that Oscar, along with all the other ones that it got. So, yeah, should we talk about the key scene?
Yeah. So the key scene we want to discuss is when the Kim family is getting drunk in the living room of the rich family, and then the rich family calls the new housemaid, which is the mom of the Kim family,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, we're coming home." And then they start cleaning up and they start scattering.
That's after they find the guy in the basement, though.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so that's another like mini scene in itself. It was like a 15-minute span.
Yeah.
Where all of that goes down. And I think like during that scene I was on the edge of my seat. Like everything everything was coming together. It was like super captivating. And yeah, so and the other scene that I thought was super good was the peach scene where like they're all hired at that point except the mom, and they're trying to get rid of the old housekeeper. And so they do this whole like strategy with this peach and her peach allergy. And the one like cinematic element I thought really made that scene was the sound design and the music and the score. And I was surprised, did it not get a nominee for best original score? I don't think it did.
I'm not sure.
um well, it didn't win it, I don't think. And but I think it should have for that scene. That was like they had it was like classical music, and it like swelled at the exact right moments, and it really made the scene more than it would have been otherwise. Um so yeah, I think that's my take on that. What's your take on the either the peach scene or the other one?
That's also a very significant scene. I like how they kind of cut between um, the different things that each member of the family was doing. Like the dad took the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and then the son went and bought the peach, and then the daughter, she like sprinkled it on her head. It was all very strategic.
Yeah, the editing in that scene is
Mm-hmm.
really on point too.
Another scene I thought was really significant because of the camera movement. When they first discover that there's a man living in the basement, and the old housekeeper comes in and she tells the mom to follow her down the stairs, and then the mom does, and then we see the mom like running after the lady, but the lady's not in the shot. The camera is behind the mom,
Mm-hmm.
and she keeps making all these turns. It makes the hallway leading to the man's room feel like it's super long.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That was Steadicam?
I feel like it was shaky.
Shaky?
Yeah.
One of the two. It was handheld.
Yeah, it was handheld. It kind of felt like you were running behind her. It was really disorienting.
True, yeah.
And that's when I kind of feel like the thriller part definitely kicked in.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, it was definitely unexpected, and I felt like I was watching a completely different movie.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting completely changed. It went from like
Yeah, the tonal differences were like the house is like super nice and warm, and then it got cold and damp and dark and scary in the basement.
It was like green down there.
Yeah.
Barely any light. So yeah, I thought the camera movements really made that scene significant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so also another thing, this is kind of off topic, but so I told my mom to watch this film,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her yeah, it's like a thriller. It has to do with like society and class and everything. But I think you would really like it. It's like really well done, and it won Best Picture. And then I told her it was like a South Korean film and it's subtitled, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch that."
Yeah.
And I just thought that was like, not shallow, but like pretty much. I mean, it's just because it's a foreign film, and I watch subtitles with all the stuff that I watch anyway, and it's really not a hindrance. If anything, it
Same.
helps. Um, and so I don't know. I think like that definitely doesn't take away from the movie whatsoever.
Not at
It's
all.
still completely watchable. And I don't know. In some ways, it made it better because I feel like you catch more things if you have subtitles on
Mm.
for any movie, not just foreign ones, or ones not in English. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we have a movie with subtitles winning Best Picture and with a director and a cast that need a what was it, like a translator
Yeah,
to give their speeches. It's something I haven't seen on TV before, and
yeah, me either.
it's a shame that subtitles are a turnoff for some people in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah.
movies because
It's like you're shutting out an entire other like
hmm
not genre, like a whole other world of film
hmm
basically just because you don't want to watch anything not in English. And yeah, so I definitely think that's a another important point to talk about when talking about this movie. um but yeah, overall good film.
I think that's why some people saw it as the underdog, just because
True, yeah.
it was a foreign film, and also just because it was also nominated as a foreign film
Yeah.
in that category. Um, but also the fact that it's a thriller. You don't see many thrillers getting nominated for Oscars,
Hmm.
let alone for Best Picture.
Yeah, did the other film we were going to compare it to is Midsummer, which I don't think that didn't get nominated for anything, did it?
No, it did not.
No. Um, yeah, so I think the Midsummer and Parasite, obviously, I think Parasite is definitely better than Midsummer, but it's also a thriller. And I think the Midsummer is more gory, definitely more like it's more classic, like horror movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's similar to Parasite in that it has a lot of subtleties that you might
hmm
miss the first time around watching it. And I've still only seen Parasite once, but I've watched a couple scenes uh, again and again just because I thought they were interesting and entertaining. And in Midsummer, like the whole plot basically is in the background. You just have to look for it. Um, and I think Parasite, it's even more subtle than that. But if you pay attention to what everyone says, you can pick up on um, what might happen in the next scene or couple scenes.
In Parasite, the stone that's given to the son, what's his name?
The
Um,
English name is Kevin,
Kevin.
but
Yeah, let's call him Kevin. The stone that's given to him by Min, his friend that's in college, is a sign of material wealth.
mhm.
And that ends up staying with him throughout the movie. And he calls it metaphorical. And then at the end, when he's hit over the head with it a couple times, and then he suffers brain damage, um, he's narrating the ending of the film, and he talks about how one of his greatest wishes is to buy that house that the rich
Mhm.
family was living in, and that is an example of material wealth.
Yeah.
And when I watched it a second time, I noticed that, oh, like this, like the meaning of that stone,
Mhm.
and like how it led to where he ended up.
Yeah, at the beginning when he first gets it, he's like, "This is so metaphorical,"
Yeah.
and yeah, it really is. And yeah, I don't think Midsummer has anything like that, does it? Not really.
Well, other than the hieroglyphics on the ceiling and the walls
Hmm.
in the room that they were sleeping in, um, there's not really much else you can predict because it's
That's
so
true.
everything in Midsummer kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, and if you miss a scene or if you don't pay attention for some of it, you're gonna be
Yeah,
lost.
yeah. I think Parasite flowed a lot better.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our review on Parasite.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add?
Watch Parasite if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's really
a great
good.
movie.
Also, this is spoilers.
Yes.
So,
we probably should have put that in the beginning.
We probably should have. Anyway, 10 out of 10 film. Go watch it. Bye.
Bye.